In this video, I got a comment on how to make some dubstep EDM style music, so we're gonna go ahead and make that. But before I do, everyone wanted to know what it takes for music production, what it costs, what to get for music production, and I'm just gonna spit out the facts for you. It's probably gonna be 1 minute spiel, but at the end of it, you're gonna know everything you need to know as far as what to get, when, and how much it will be. Here's a little breakdown, then we'll get back to the beat making video. This is not sponsored, I'm just answering the question that y'all have been DMing me. I've been doing this for a while, but if you were to start today, this is what I would do right off the bat with music production legally. I'm fortunate enough that I can get this legally now. Back in the day, different story. Let's go ahead and get it. So boom, Ableton, DAW of choice. Personally, in my opinion, the best one. Live 12 Suite is now $31.21 a month, rent to own, which means you pay monthly, but it's not a subscription. So as soon as you get done paying off the 24 months, you own the program. You don't have to pay anymore. You can still use it. Honestly, the best kind of thing out there right now as far as music production. Now, this is all you would need. It comes with its own kind of serum in a way, its own oscillator, so you can still make your own sounds. You can still be unique. It does come with some preset sounds, pianos, pads, you know, different kind of like instruments. That's all you would need to get started is 30 bucks, right? If you wanted to get more to your library, maybe add some samples, maybe get some snares, some more snares, some more hi-hats, some more cymbals, boom, I would go to Splice. Okay, Splice, they're having a trial right now. Also, this is not a sponsored video, I wish it was, but I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, to get started with music production best way possible, this is how much it's going to cost. So right now they have $4.99 for 1 month, $19.99 after that. There is a Sounds Plus one that you get 100 credits per month, $12.99. And then these are the kind of things that they offer, right? Depending like your budget. So that would add some money, but you're adding more value to your music production. Within Splice, it also adds Serum 2. So I wouldn't get Serum 2 until you spend some time with Ableton, but maybe a few months down the line, you want to add some more maybe presets or make your own sounds. This is what I would get. Serum 2, it's $9.99 a month for 25 months. This is also rent to own. So as soon as you're done paying it off, you get to keep it. Now all that, if we plug that into a calculator, because I cannot do math, is $46.19. So to do everything in this video is $46.19 down the line if you put it together. I'm just saying, people keep asking me that. There it is at the beginning of the video. If that's all you're here for, there you go. But now we're gonna make some dubstep. All right, y'all, what is going on? KrysticMusic here. Today we are going to make a dubstep style track. Now I don't know what this is gonna be. If you watch the videos, I never know exactly what it's gonna be. This is all unscripted. I had no idea, but we're just gonna try to go follow the step of dubstep. 140 BPM is usually what the dubstep sound is. Now, I do have a sample that I found. It's literally just a vocal chop, nothing serious. I just liked it. So here's the sample. It kind of sounds like it would be like in a build-up, you know what I mean? Now, I do have a new PC, so I'm moving everything over. We're just gonna be sticking with Splice's kind of samples, right? All my other sounds on my other hard drive. So we're gonna go ahead and maybe go to the collections. I do have like 3 in here. At least I have a kick and a snare to get started, right? If you want to go the route of regular dubstep, if you want to go to the kick on the 1 and then the snare on the 3, it is preference, but just generally what it is like that boom, bap, right? To get that dubsteppy drum kind of like drum step sound, you know what I mean? I don't like this ending here. I don't like this ending right here. I kind of like that better. So let's go with that. Let's move this one over here. So it's a little, so it's not necessarily exactly copy and pasting the sample, but I definitely like that better than the original. I don't know what was going on there, but we'll do that. Yeah, that's so much better. I don't know if it's just too much going on at the end there, but that's so much better. Okay. So dubstep sound number 3, it's up to you if you want to get started with the drums or the kind of melody, the bass. I think for dubstep, I used to get started with the drop actually, because I just liked making drops. I'm just gonna get a quick hi-hat to kind of, or maybe even a ride. Okay, so we can put this here. And then I can, if I wanted to, I can kind of mix up some of the bass drum, some of the kick drum. Put some right here. Okay, now I think that's enough. I don't even have my keyboard plugged in, so I don't know if I'm going to use it. But let's go ahead and make a MIDI track. We're going to go ahead and get Serum. Now, dubstep, it depends on your vibe, what you want to do. Usually it's minor because it's kind of dark, right? Kind of like head banging music, right? But it's up to you what you want to do. I think I'm going to use E minor because I have that pulled up here. And again, to determine what kind of sound you want, literally listen to some of your favorite songs and just type it into Google what key and BPM is this song in, right? Kind of know what your favorite type of music is to listen to. That way you can know what kind of music, at least to start, you can know what kind of sound you want to make, right? So if something makes you happy, just make that same scale. Or if something makes you emotional, look up the scale, right? Look up what it is, right? Is it E minor, F minor, G minor? Is it A major? You know what I mean? Just kind of those things. Well, that's just what I did, right? And then you can try to invoke those same feelings on your listeners, right? So we'll start with this. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, but I just need a sound to lay it down, right? Which I'm just gonna start at E because we're doing E minor. Start right here, right? I'm not even at the beginning. LOL. So let's just play around with it. I don't have my MIDI keyboard, so this is literally just me and the computer right now. So if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you still can do this. You can literally play around. If you touch these headphones, you can kind of play with the keys this way, right? You just touch the headphones, but it's kind of annoying, right? Because when you plop a note down, it'll plop it and it'll play the sound. So I kind of turn it off. So I'm just gonna copy paste this. I'm gonna try to see what sound I'm kind of looking for here. Okay, so I kind of like that. I'm gonna keep those. But I want this one higher. Then we'll just duplicate that for 2 signs. At the ending, we'll add something here. Or we'll add something with another sound. But this, I think we actually did this cool. Now this sound that I have already has a sub kind of bassiness to it. If I want to take the sub out, I can do that with the EQ8 and add my own sub. But it already has it in there, so I might just keep it in there and have that be the sub bass, right? But if you have like a horn or something, or like if I wanted just the top part, right, I could add a sub bass underneath it and kind of have this low end missing. But it does have a sub bass, so I might just keep it in there, right? The cool thing about dubstep, well, it's just depending. You don't really have to worry about how the vocals come out, because usually there's no vocals. Like, I mean, a singer. There is sometimes, but for the drop, it's mainly just a drop. Now, I might take these out. They're a little kind of distracting from the bass. And we can adjust the volumes now. I usually raise this up so I can see the individual kind of numbers. So as you can tell, it's hitting -6. It's a little high. Let me see if I can change that in Serum so I don't get too crazy. And it's really up to you how loud you want it. I don't know what other sounds I'm gonna add, right? And it is up to you. It is normal if you want the bass to hit where the sub bass and the kind of the main bass hits. Just to make it sound that much bigger. I definitely don't want to get too crazy with this, so I might leave it off. So it might be a little drum and bassy, but it's just what I'm feeling right now, right? So in the background, I can have a little build-up snare, right? I always say, if you're having trouble to EQ, if you just want to EQ as you go, there is EQs already set here. So if you want to have a hi-hat EQ, just kind of put that there. It kind of does it for you. So this is looking like it'll probably be not the intro, but kind of like the build-up part, right? So it'll probably be somewhere right here where this kind of starts. It is feeling a little bit dry, right? It's feeling not big. I want it to feel big, right? Like dubstep is big. So what I can do is I can make a kind of pad, right? Especially at the beginning here, maybe even chords. So I can try to see if I can make this into chords, right? For the E. So for chords, if I don't have a keyboard, I'm pretty sure if I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, land it there. We'll start out with this. So that's... do our little chords, right? And put this one there. Okay, so now we got that. Let's duplicate it. Oh, wait, what? Oh yeah, okay, let's duplicate it. Now we have our chord laid out here. We can change the color to yellow, right? To not get it confused. So now that we made our chords, we can have our chords that we can mess with, right? So just like that, from this bass line I wrote down, right? I have chords now, and I can put these chords anywhere I want. And I know a lot of people are like, yo, I don't have any fancy equipment. It's like, all you really need is the software. You know what I'm talking about? That's the snare that I'm trying to... You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's going to be a snare. So that kind of goes along with that. But let's try to see if we can get a snare in there. I want this like kind of rim shot. Kind of in the background there. The more kind of sounds you add to your drums, I kind of like Skrillex that way. He has a lot of sounds when drums, just at the right moment. I'm gonna add a little reverb to that. Maybe a delay too. Just get some sounds in there, you know? And everything is kind of... Now we can make another kind of sound here. I don't like this red. It's too red for me. Now we can make another sound with chords, kind of dragging them out so they sound a little bit longer. Find the kind of sounds I'm going to use, and then we can like kind of rearrange them for the intro. But I do want to figure out my chords right now to make it kind of mesh a little better. Then in this, you always want to have some kind of white noise, right? To make your own white noise, you can actually go to analog, which is your own kind of oscillators. You can turn the oscillators off, turn the noise on, turn the noise all the way up, double click your filter, double click your amp, filter, double click it, put the color all the way up as well. So now you have kind of white noise, right? White noise riser, insert MIDI clip. Put it on any note. We can put the EQ8 as like a low, high pass, low. And then we can set an auto filter, automation. I can't even speak. Press this button, press this plus once we have the frequency knob there selected. Just make this riser, and there you go. You have your own white noise riser. Don't even need a sample. You could get a sample, probably be easier, but at least you can control how much riser you need. And then if you have a riser, you may want to add like a down sweep with the same riser, just literally going the other way. I don't know if I'm liking this bass, to be honest. Kind of like this. Let me see. I don't know what I want, to be honest, but let's go and just plop some stuff down. I'm gonna try something out, which is just a little buzz. I don't know if I have a buzz sound. Okay, dun. Very nice. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. We got a little melody going, right, that we can actually put at the start if we really wanted to get some variation. Okay, for the sake of the video, we're gonna cut it, I guess, right there, right? And then we'll do the drop here. Okay, so here's where we'll make the drop. So for a drop, I like to kind of keep the same energy. See what we can do. For the start, just to see what kind of sound I want, I'm just gonna move it to where the empty spaces are. Let's change it to a different sound so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And what we kind of want to do is kind of cut the bass out a little bit since this is interfering with the other bass. Raise the high. If you really want to get crazy, you can add different things to this, right? I recommend, but you can add, there's a whole bunch of different audio and MIDI effects you can add. These multiband dynamics are a good one. If you put OTT, you can kind of mess with what sounds how big, right? So you can kind of mess the highs. So you can make it sound really cool. So just messing with it, you can take down everything, right? Let's just take down everything for the start. Let's drag this over to the blue, drag this over to the blue, put it back, kind of take out what you want, put in what you want. Start with the bass. Let's start with the bass, right? So as you can tell, we don't need that much bass. So we'll just put it right there in this. I do like the mids just to see how high we don't need that much highs. I do like the mids, right? We can actually take some bass away. That's what this red line is, right? Oh, I do want something where this little two notes are. So I'm going to go like this. Make the EQ weight the same. I want the highs out of it. So let's add like a little bell or something cool, right? That sounds perfect to me. Now what we could do is make a different lead, kind of. We have the basic of the song, right? For the sake of the video, let's just go ahead and get some kind of riser snares. There's a lot we could do with this, right? But let me know. So I'm good with the drop, right? And this is why I like to start with the drop first. I didn't today, which was actually really weird, but oh, because we started with this. I didn't even put this in the drop, you see? Yeah, I didn't even add this in the drop. I just added it at the beginning. But this is pretty much what it's kind of going to build towards. So we do have the intro, right? So honestly, if we had this over here, add that right there, get rid of all this, right? Kind of dubstepy, kind of rhythmy, but this is kind of like the bass, right? Now we can get into like the nitty gritty and kind of mess around with the bass drum, the kick, snare, hi-hats, all that stuff, right? But we have everything kind of laid out, right? You know what I mean? We can add effects, but this is literally like adding something to the canvas to kind of work off of, right? So these 5 instruments are just MIDI, right? We're not using any audio file. We're not using any audio samples or anything like that. Maybe we'll freeze them into audio to make it easier on our CPU. These are all MIDI, right? We can mess with these however we want with different oscillators, right? So this is how it sounds. And if you want, you can add some vocals to this. I think vocals would be really, really cool to add. You know, it's like just a random one right here. Look at this.
Drop the bass like a bumbo clad gunshot. Boom, 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 boom. Turn it up. We sound system.
I actually like that. Boom, boom, boom. I ain't gonna lie with you on that one. Hold on. The reverb. Yeah, that sounds perfect right there. Also, you can make your own risers, like snare drum risers. You can literally do anything you want to make it a little better, and everything you add will make it a little better, right? Just turn it down. Altogether, this is what it sounds like. Overall, for our bass kind of start here, this is a pretty good start to a good song, you know what I mean? But this is how it sounds all together. Alright, so as you can see, I was tweaking some of the volumes there and everything like that, but also if you want the drop to come in a little harder, you can actually take the bass and just take it out completely, or like kind of change it. You know what I'm saying? So it is up to you there. But anyways, let me know if you want me to keep working on this to make it a full-fledged song so it all goes together. I know we did bits and pieces and parts. But yeah, that'll be it for the video. Again, if you liked it or if it helped, leave a like on the video. It does help the channel out. Subscribe if you want more videos. I think out of everything, the drop is probably my favorite. And sometimes what I would do is I would take this drop and maybe put it in and add a whole nother, like take this out completely and kind of build off out of the drop, right? Because I do like the drop. But, you know, that's just me and how I kind of work through things, how I get stuff in my mind onto Ableton. But anyways, I'm out of here. As always, keep making music, keep listening to music. My name is KrysticMusic, and I'm out. Peace.